through the moons of the solar system. Now, we're not going to cover all moons because there's over 250 moons. So we're just going to do a small selection. So I apologise, but we won't do that. I'd like to remind you that these podcasts are completely free. If you'd like a more detailed version of these podcasts, they are available through Patreon, and you get a more detailed version. Please check it out. Take a look. There's also a shop on Patreon if you want to support me in other ways. And don't forget, you can still email questions or anything like that. So, Alien Space Education, a journey through some of the moons in our solar system. Welcome to our galactic adventure. So, first up, the terrestrial planets and their moons, starting with Mars. Now, mainly because the reason we're starting with Mars is Mercury, Venus, no moons. Simple. Earth has the moon Luna, and we know about that one. I've covered it. I don't need to do it again. So we're going to go straight into Mars. So Mars has two moons. Phobos is the larger of two moons. It's oddly shaped with a surface covered in crater and grooves, and its rapid orbit means it rises and sets twice a day on Mars. As a rapid orbit, both moons are thought to be captured asteroids. So they're once asteroids. They weren't created by, say, hitting Mars and creating a debris asteroid belt or anything like that. Eventually turned into a moon. It was a captured asteroid. So that's why they're so different and they look so different. So that's really, really cool. I like that. Then we go on to, obviously we're jumping ahead onto Jupiter. Now Jupiter has a lot of moons. It's very impressive. It's the king of planets. So both is a huge array. So I'm going to cover a few of these and go through them. So first one is the largest moon, and the largest moon in the entire solar system belongs to Jupiter. It's even larger than Mercury, has a magnetic field of its own. It's called Ganymede. Ganymede's surface is a mixture of ice and rock with intriguing geological features, which means there's something on the surface that we cannot see, and it's always changing. Now, whether that's because it's magnetic field, it's capturing rocks in, and more asteroids are going into it, creating craters, whether it's just the gravitational pull of Jupiter on the moon, who can say? But we need to study it and find out. Next is Callisto. It's heavily cratered, one of the oldest objects in the solar system. It might have a subsurface ocean, making it a key target search for extraterrestrial life. Wow! Callisto could have aliens there? And that's only at Jupiter? Wow, things are getting interesting. Ooh. So because it has the permafrost on the surface and it's an icy shell, it could be life in the water. Next on is the most geological active body in our solar system. Hundreds of active volcanoes. Its colossal surface is a lot of sulfur and other volcanic material. What do you think that would be? That's right, it's Io. It's really active. So you think on Earth we have tectonic plates that move, give us earthquakes, but they pull apart, the lava flows up, comes out of a volcano. Cool, super cool. But Io is doing this. Io is similar to Earth, early Earth. Wow, that's cool. Or maybe it's the pull of Jupiter. Its gravitational force is pulling on the planet and ripping it apart, and it's pulling it open, and it's healing itself, and it's pulling it again. Who can say exactly what's happening there? But that's really, really cool, really interesting. Then we go on to the ice world, Europa, with a surface that appears to be covered in a subsurface ocean. Subsurface, so under the ground, under the ice. Scientists are particularly excited about Europa because the potential for life in the hidden ocean. Now, the reason they say this is quite recently we went to the Arctic and we drilled a big hole, went through all the ice, really, really deep. So no sunlight had ever reached this water. Completely clear. And we thought, put something down there, we won't find anything. we found over 60 new species of sea life. And that's on our own planet. That's in Earth. That's through ice here. So Europa has ice. It's cold. Could it have life under the ice? It is highly possible. I'm not saying it's definitely there, but it's possible. So we're sending a mission to go there. And it's called the Clipper. Okay, so we are having a look to see what's going on. Okay, they're the main 4 moons. So we're going to go on to their next planet, which is Saturn, the queen of the planets, the big ring around it. It's a dual solar system, and it has a number of moons. So we'll start off with Saturn's largest moon, a thick nitrogen-rich atmosphere. Its surface is dotted with lakes of liquid methane and ethane. Could only be Titan, of course, offering a unique environment that could hold clues about prebiotic chemistry. There we go. So each moon is different and unique, and each can teach us something new. So prebiotic chemistry, look at Titan. Next we go on to the second largest moon to Saturn. It's heavily cratered again. Remember, it's got rings, so rocks are always hitting different things, and it may even have its own faint ring system. So this moon has a faint ring system. We are looking at it to see if we can get really good pictures and show you one day. That's Rhea. Rhea is a moon of Saturn that could have its own rings. Wow, that is super cool. Okay, next one is this one is famous for its icy geysers that spew water vapor and organic components. These geysers suggest an ocean beneath its ice, which could be prime candidates to hosting life. Hang on, another moon that could potentially host life under the ice. Enceladus. I apologize if I say that wrong. Enceladus. Enceladus could also possibly host life. We know around the geysers that we see on Earth that shoot up from the ground, and we see the water shoot up, we know life can form there, and we know there can be life. It says we know there's organic compounds within those geysers. But is it life? We need to study it and find out. So we need to keep looking. Okay. Next is known to have the largest crater called Herschel. That gives a resemblance to the Death Star. A moon that looks like the Death Star from Star Wars. That can't be right. And it's also the smallest moon of Saturn. This could be a really interesting study. I hope it's not a real Death Star. It's Minos. That's it. Minos looks like the Death Star from Star Wars. That is pretty cool. Maybe you guys should look them up, the pictures and everything like that. They're really cool. So we're moving on. So we've done the big ones and the small ones, the main ones. Now we're going on to Uranus. It also has a number of moons. I'm going to cover a couple of them. Tatiana is the largest moon. Its surface is marked with canyons and valleys. It has an icy crust overlooking rock, an underlying rock, hinting to a complex geological history. So there could be a lot more on the surface on this rock that we cannot see because it's covered in ice. So we need to explore it and we need to understand it. And it's really interesting. There could be fossils there that we need to study. Could be really cool to look at. Next one is, this is another large moon of Uranus. It's heavily cratered. It has a very varied surface, potential evidence of past geological activity. This is earthquakes and volcanoes. This is Oberon. Possible signs of early Earth-like surface. Yeah, there could be fossils there. There could be all sorts of things there. Who knows? I think we need to have a look. So it's really interesting. That's Uranus's moons. Next, we're moving on to one you all like, Neptune. Now, Neptune has a couple of moons that we're going to look at, but we're going to look at one. One that really stands out to everyone is called Triton. It's the largest moon. It's in a retrograde orbit, which means it spins in the opposite direction to the planetary spin. The planet spins one way, this spins the opposite way, indicating it is likely captured. So it could be an asteroid that flew past and got caught in orbit and is still stuck there but spinning the wrong way around. Okay, its surface features geysers of nitrogen and a landscape of frozen nitrogen. So it's a nitrogen rock sending out geysers of nitrogen gas and into the atmosphere. Could it contain life? Not sure. It's too far away for us to know what compounds are in that nitrogen. See if there's anything else new there. But that's a really interesting moon. It's the only moon that I know of that spins in the opposite direction to the planet. It spins backwards. Say the planet spins clockwise, this will spin anti-clockwise. Triton is really good. You should look into it. If you want more questions, please ask them. Now, let's not forget that even though that's the main planets, dwarf planets are just as exciting and just as important. So we're going to look at Pluto. Pluto, dwarf planet, Kuiper Belt. Please listen to my previous episode about the Kuiper Belt. Charon is Pluto's largest moon, about half the size of Pluto itself. It's so large in comparison to Pluto and Charon, it is sometimes considered a double dwarf planet system, which means that they orbit each other, which I did mention. Because it's so big, they do heavily affect each other. Charon also surface has deep canyons and polar caps of water ice. So it has a north and south pole with water. So that could potentially hold life, but very, very cold life. It has a very thin atmosphere. Next on Pluto's, although small, these two moons are less studied, but add complexity to Pluto's system. What is making these do this? Nix and Hydra. Nix and Hydra. Don't worry, not the Hydras from Captain America or anything like that. These are good planets, but they're unusual because they have deep canyons and make Pluto's system very, very strange because it has 5 moons. I mean, I've only done 3 of them here, but that's really weird. Why does a planet so small have 5 moons? Gotta look into that. That's my basic tour of the moons here. Now, if you subscribe and go on my Patreon, I have a longer list here which I'm going to go into in more detail, and I'm covering approximately, hang on, let me have a look, really entice you guys in, 30 moons. I'm going to cover a little bit more detail about each of the moons. So I've got 30 moons in my next one. So this is just a short overview of 15 moons there for you. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please check out my Patreon, subscribe, check out my website, Space for All Education. Keep looking up the stars, keep learning, keep asking questions, keep everything going. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Take care, and I really hope you've enjoyed. Keep looking at the stars.